What's good with everybody, man? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody's doing great. Good morning to Carl from Oklahoma. I see that comment down there, man, but we're going to get to it this morning, y'all. Y'all know how we doing. Y'all know how we rocking. It's 8:45 Pacific Standard Time. Y'all know I'm on the best coast on the West Coast, Sacramento, California. So, you know, we on that Pacific Standard Time. It's July 18th. We getting the week started off with some Raiders football, y'all. Raiders football is official and training camp has started today, but we'll hop into that here shortly after I got a couple of things I want to go ahead and talk about. But go ahead and give that thumbs up if I can. Who's going to be the first person to give me that thumbs up to make sure y'all can hear and see me clearly? I want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. Make sure y'all can see me clearly before we really hop into this thing. So we don't have any technical difficulties. And I hope everybody's having a great morning. Good morning to everybody that's in the chat. We're about to give everybody a shout out real quick. Once I get the confirmation, somebody give me a thumbs up, and I get the thumbs up. Appreciate the chat, y'all. Appreciate y'all very much. Thank you. James Furbo is in the building. As usual, my boy wants to say, what up, Ray? Salute to the nation. Yes, sir. Salute to the nation and everybody that's in the chat right now. I appreciate everybody that's with us this morning. I hope everybody's having good vibes. Like my man James Furbo said, one time for the one time. Raiders! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it cracking, man. Jesse Torres is in the building. What's good with you, man? Good morning, Jesse. How's the nation doing? He said, shout out to all my Raiders fans from Los Angeles. You know what I mean? Los Angeles, man, SoCal. Raider Nation is strong out there, so shout out to Los Angeles. You already know how that rock. Alex is in the building. What's up with you, man? Eminem, I see you folks. I was just talking to you last night, man. I'm on that show, bro. I'm on that show. That's a dope show. I definitely like that show, Mike. So that's the one I'm watching, that one I sent you. TC is in the building. What's good with you, TC? So what's going on, Raider Nation? Raider Nation showing love this morning. Appreciate everybody that's with us. Richard Snyder in the building. What's good? Curious to hear about how many veterans showed up today. So Snyder, we'll hop into that. But just so we can clarify, training camp for today, we're going to get into the details, but training camp today is mainly for the rookies. Training camp today is mainly for the rookies, I believe. So, and then there's a couple of positions here and there that we'll hop into. But there's a couple of things, a couple of articles I wanted to talk about first before we get into the details of training camp, of course. We have a couple of things that did happen over the weekend or last weekend that we really didn't cover too much. But we will be covering it here today. Let me just pull this up real quick. Keep getting to the chat, though. Quiet Storm is in the building. Always love to see Quiet Storm pull up because I know he's in the background. Sometimes he don't comment. Sometimes he be working. I know he be working. He be grinding. Shout out to Quiet Storm. Says, good morning, Ray. Salute, Raider Nation. Stay blessed and let's go. Raiders. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Raider for life. Good morning, Nation. Here we go. Prayers for our players and health for all of them. Let's get that championship, most definitely. We need to stay healthy. We need to stay healthy. Okay, last year we definitely came across a lot of health concerns. You know what I mean? Trayvon Mullen, Kenyan Drake. Even Richie Incognito. Some people we are going to be bringing up here in today's live that I do want to talk about. But shout out to Neek is in the building. Neek 5. Always let us see Dominic pull up to us, man. Carl's in the building. Good morning from Oklahoma. Seen your comment earlier. Most definitely, brother, from Oklahoma. That's appreciate the shout out, folks. Raider Nation is deep throughout they everywhere. What's up with it, Jackson? DG President in the building. What's up with it, cuz? You already know what it is. Mike, you said milk or beezy like cereal. You must be from the Bay. You must be from the Bay. Yes, sir. Carlos Luna in the building. GT. Excuse me. EG is in the building. I like to say EG instead of having to say egalitarian. But if you want me to say that, let me know in the chat, man. Queen is in the building with the thumbs up. Appreciate it, Queen. Appreciate you being with us. Jersey boy, what's up? What he says, what's up, bro? How are you? I'm great, man. You know what I mean? I'm blessed. I can't complain. Woke up this morning having a good morning. After this, I'm finna go eat a little bagel breakfast sandwich that I whipped up for myself. But I had to pop on real quick. Good morning to you as well, Queen. Everybody let the Queen know good morning. Mason Blue is in the building. Everybody say what's up to Mason Blue. Big Blue, what's up with you, man? Paul, what it do, bro? What it do, Paul? Appreciate you being with us. EJ's in the building. What's good, Ray? I'm going to have to catch up your live later. Stocking an account that has no service. LL, have a great show, bro. I appreciate you pulling up. Definitely. If you can't catch it right now, you know what I mean? Go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. If you guys can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. And if you guys can't catch it now, go ahead and leave a comment like my boy EJ said, and then y'all can catch up to it later. Definitely going to have this segmented as a live to where you guys can be able to watch it whenever actually. So like David V says, though, I'm excited for camp today, okay? Because we're going to have rookies pulling up on us. We're going to have some quarterbacks pulling up on us today. So we're going to have to definitely hop into that. But on the first note that I want to bring up, okay, is to make sure y'all raid that like button, okay? Make sure y'all raid that like button, okay? Because we need at least 50 likes. If we got 70 people in here, we need at least 50 likes. And hit that subscribe button if y'all new. You know what I mean? Go make a play. Let's do what it do. But first things first, I want to go ahead and bring up this article about Richie Incognito. I know most of the folks know. Everybody knows, right? Richie Incognito retired as a Raider. Las Vegas Raiders Richie Incognito announces retirement. Richie Incognito, who said he found acceptance with the Las Vegas Raiders after a star-crossed and controversy-filled career as one of the more physical offensive linemen of his career, announced his retirement on Friday. Incognito, 39, signed with the Raiders in 2019. This man was a 39-year-old offensive lineman, y'all, and finally just retired. And he retired with the Raiders. He's played with many teams, Miami, Bills, Raiders, just to mention a few. And he comes back to retire with the Raiders. So shout out to Richie Incognito for being able to retire with the team he wanted to retire with. And I'm glad that it was with the Raiders because I do like Richie Incognito. He came in, he handled his business, and he actually was one of the more dominant offensive linemen that we did have, especially in that first season with him and drafting Josh Jacobs. I think that's one of the reasons Josh Jacobs had one of his better seasons is because he was running behind Richie Incognito. So shout out to Richie Incognito. That's the first thing I wanted to pull up. Now the second thing, before we hop into this training camp stuff, all right, guys, I want to hop into one more thing. This is relevant to training camp, okay? Because this guy's going to be competing with some dudes that we had drafted on draft night. So that's Zamir White. That is going to be in competition with this man here, Kenyan Drake. Kenyan Drake, Raiders running back Kenyan Drake, who was hurt with his ankle injury, definitely going to be ready for training camp. So Drake is supposedly going to be ready for training camp. Let's go ahead and continue into this. Then we'll get into the actual talks of training camp. Las Vegas Raiders running back Kenyan Drake wasn't cleared for minicamp last month after suffering a broken ankle in early December that required surgery. As we know, he needed surgery on his ankle after playing Washington. That was a tough one. It was definitely a tough one. But the running back recently told Matt Holder of Silver and Black Pride that he expects to be a Raider, be ready for training camp, even if he's not 100%. Okay, so Kenyan Drake is going to be back. He's going to be in competition, and he's definitely going to have to, grind. He's going to have to grind it out because the fact he's coming off an injury and we drafted Zamir White, it just shows that we're not very confident in this running back room. Honestly, we have Britton as well. Let's not forget about that. So this running back room is going to be a lot of competition. It's going to be fun to get to. But David V is a new member of the channel, y'all. Make sure y'all welcome David V. Give him a warm welcome. Welcome him to the squad, y'all. Y'all know how we rock, man. David V, shout out to you. Appreciate you becoming a member. If anybody wants to become a member, just hit that join button. I appreciate y'all. It's the best way to support the channel. Let's get to it. Mike Morris with the first super of the morning says, glad you finally catch a live. Glad to catch a live. Always listen to your content. Have you seen those whack Chargers fans with a car pinata weirdos? You know what? I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't seen nothing about no pinata, Derek Carr. But at the same time, it's just funny because is that all they have to do, bro? Like, is this all the Chargers have to do is get pinatas of the Raiders quarterback? I mean, that's kind of sad. And there probably was only 3 people that showed up to the pinata thing because, they ain't got no fans, Mike. So that's kind of weird that they do that. You're definitely right. They're some weirdos. Queen says, can't wait to see Drake back in action. Definitely. I would love to see Drake back in action. He was our speed back last year. Let's not forget, he was our speed back. And if he comes back 100% healthy, he's going to continue to be our speed back because I believe he's the fastest running back currently on this roster. And you guys know I want some speed at the running back spot. So we definitely need to bring that back in. I hear you, Queen. Jason says, nothing like a Raiders Queen. Definitely not. Definitely not. Welcome to the Camp Nation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and hop into this next article, and we're going to touch bases on training camp, okay? We're here with the 2022 training camp, and I want to go ahead and touch bases on this next article because we're going to take actually a little bit more of a deep dive into what we got going on as far as training camp is concerned. So here we have the Raiders rookies. Let me go ahead and pull this up. So like we were saying earlier, the Raiders rookies are the ones showing up for training camp. Okay. And this article says, with the Raiders playing in the Hall of Fame game, their veterans will report on July 20th. So for people that may be confused, training camp does start today. Okay. But July 20th is when the veterans will be showing up. All right. July 20th. So 2 more days, Wednesday. Let's go ahead and knock this out, though. The first rookies reporting for training camp signal the beginning of the end of NFL's offseason. We're one step closer to football. Let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get it, y'all. And this is what we've been waiting for. The NFL season has officially begun today because the rookies are showing up. Now, I did see an article that say the quarterbacks are supposed to be showing up as well. The quarterbacks should be showing up as well to this camp, as far as some other players as well. So that is something that definitely we got to look forward to. Definitely something we got to look forward to. I can't wait to see some film coming out of training camp, because what you get from this is seeing where these guys are going to be playing a lot. I know there was mini camp, but mini camp doesn't really give you that vibe because they're not really running plays against each other. They're not going to be seeing any other type of opponents like that. Okay, but when you get the chance to see the actual starting offensive lineman go up against a starting defensive lineman, plays being ran, some physicality being involved with this camp, that's when you actually get the meat and potatoes of what's really going on with this football team. So training camp is very important. We definitely want to get those leaks. We definitely want to get those pictures and videos of training camp, because y'all remember what happened last year. Last year, training camp was actually pretty wild. There was some, some scuffles going on, some fighting going on that were definitely involved. I remember those pictures. So let's see what happens this year. Let's see what happens this year with Josh McDaniels as he handles the helm. Let me get to the comments, though, y'all. I see JoJo in the building. Yes, sir. Raider Black is in the building. What's good with y'all, man? Unknown Raider says, Raid, do you think we should get John Ross III for a short contract to see how he plays? John Ross is one of those guys that are fast. Definitely has a lot of talent. I believe he was a former first-round pick. John Ross was. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But the thing with him is he just can't stay healthy, bro. Like, he literally can't stay healthy. I'm not sure what it is with John Ross that keeps him from staying on the field, but he just can't stay healthy from what I understand throughout his career. Now, he's been on multiple teams now at this point. If we brought him in, I don't see why we wouldn't just use like a Tyron Johnson that we already have on the roster. Do we think we need a speedy receiver outside of Tyron Johnson? And bring in John Ross, who would probably get a little bit better of a contract. I think John Ross would be able to lock in a contract at least. I don't think you'd be able to bring him in, put him on a practice squad, and just release him type stuff. John Ross would definitely have to be someone you lock in. Tyron Johnson, on the other hand, is someone I think you should give a chance over John Ross, in my opinion. But if we did bring him in, I wouldn't be mad at that, unknown. I definitely wouldn't be mad at that because I love speed. You know what I mean? Just like Al Davis, I love speed as well. So I would love to bring in some speedster if we had to. What's up with the O-line this season, Nation? Yes, sir. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that because today, because training camp starts, I'm going to give my top 3 position battles for this training camp that I definitely want to look into. Now, I want you guys in the comments right now. I want you guys to drop right now in the comments, what is your number 1 position battle going into training camp? What is the number 1 spot you guys want to see going into this camp where you guys want to see the starters come out? Whether it's cornerback, whether it's safety, whether it's wide receiver, whether maybe it's the wide receiver 2 spot, Demarcus Robinson you have out there that could potentially take that wide receiver 2 spot. Keelan Cole is out there. What about the linemen? I'm sure you guys have questions. Let me know down in the comments who you guys think is your number 1 position battle right now going into this training camp. I see Gene in the building. He says, good morning, Ray. Good morning to you, Gene. Appreciate you pulling up to us, man. Always a pleasure having you with us. Raider Houston is in the building. What's up, buddy, Houston? What's up, buddy, Houston? Appreciate you pulling up. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button. We got over 100 people already in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button so we can get the algorithm cracking. Y'all know how YouTube works. You know what I mean? Likes are free. Likes are free for you and me. Let's get that thing cracking. SVT is in the building. Appreciate you always pulling up on us, showing support. It's normal for the phone plugs to hate on the Raiders. We are their worst nightmare. Yeah, especially after last year. They're definitely going to be hating on us, man. And it's just weird. Like, I would never go out of my way as a fan to make a piñata of a Chargers player so then I could go, I guess, hit it and get candy. I don't even know. Maybe they put fake rings inside the pinata so they felt like they beat Derek Carr and got a ring. I don't know. Maybe that's what they did. But that's the only way they're going to be touching the ring anytime soon, y'all. Justin Lawson, if Drake balls out, do you think we re-sign him? So I'll have to look into Drake's contract a little bit more and look at the details. But from what I understand, we already restructured his contract to where we owe him money even when he's not with us, right? I think we owe him $3 million for the next 3 years, and his contract is only good till this year or next year, something like that. So we technically owe him, no matter what, he's guaranteed to get $3 million from us for like the next 3 years, something like that, even when he's not on the team. Okay, so do we re-sign him? I mean, we could always restructure that if we wanted to keep him, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, man. I think if anybody balls out, though, to answer your question, I think we try to keep the players that ball out. You know what I mean? KB is in the building. He said, Ray, Zeus is going to show up. I'm telling you. Look, KB, I'm going to take your word on this, bro, because you're probably one of the only people that went to bat for Nate Hobbs when he was drafted. When he was drafted, not week 2, not during the preseason, but KB, Kenneth Bryant, was one of the only people that, gave Nate Hobbs that clout when it was time he got drafted. So shout out to KB, man. And if you're ever a person in the comments that I noticed you're actually, you call these things out, I'm going to give you your flowers. So I got to give KB his flowers. And if you say Zeus going to show out, then Zeus going to show out, man. Zeus going to show out. David V says, thanks, Queen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't wait for the season to start. Anxious. And this is as close as we're going to get without it actually starting, right? Because training camp, we're going to see where these guys are getting lined up at. Not only that, we're going to actually get some type of real football, right? The football season officially started. They actually officially say this is the end of the offseason, the start of the new season. So, it's going to be a fun season, bro. On paper, this is the best Raiders football team we've seen in a minute, okay? Zamir White ran a 4.5. Drake ran a 4.45. So Zamir a little faster. Okay, Will Dunn gonna get technical on me. You're gonna get technical on me. I would love to see them run side by side because I feel like Zamir might be a little bit slower than Drake. But I mean, if the time is there, the time is there. You got it, bro. I'm hyped. Football is finally back. Shout out to the nation, man. I can't wait to get my pins in. Make sure y'all tap in with the nation. He got some fire pins going on. And Agent Red agrees with KB, and I agree too. So, let me know what you guys think about that Zamir White comment by KB. Is he going to show out? Is Zamir White going to show out? I think so. I think he'll show out. Snyder says, Hall of Fame game is against Jacksonville Jaguars. Expansion team, not ideal to me. So, Snyder, I agree with you 100%. It's not ideal, but what I would love to say to this comment is we're just looking to see at this depth, right? We're just looking to see what our guys are willing to give on the field during these times because these guys are going to be competing for jobs, right? These guys are competing for jobs at this point. Derek Carr's not going to go out there and play against Jacksonville. It's going to be the backup quarterback. And when the backup quarterback goes out there, that's our time to say, okay, we need to check this guy out and see what he can do because imagine a moment in time to where something happens and Carr goes out for a game, right? Carr goes out for a game. And we need a guy to come in and fill his spot just for one single game and hopefully get us that dub. We want to see what this quarterback looks like. So, it might not be ideal to play Jacksonville, but it's actually pretty good because that's a good team to go and get some practice against, right? This is a team that Drake is probably going to potentially get some reps against because he's coming off that injury. These are reps that Zamir White will probably most likely come in and get some reps against these guys. Our swing offensive tackle will be out there. Stuff like that. Depth at cornerback. What are these going to look like going up against the Jaguars wide receivers? So it might not be ideal, and I agree. It's not ideal to play the Jags, but to start out as the first week to practice, coming off a training camp, definitely not a bad team to go up against. Definitely not a bad way to, tailor yourself into the season. Robert is in the building, man. What's up with you, bro? Appreciate you pulling up. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Sauce Twin, always in the building. Appreciate you. Mondo, what's good with it? He said, what up, though, Ray? Monday fun day, brother. Yes, sir. It's always a fun day when training camp starts. Yes, sir. There's only one day training camp start, and it is today. James Purple says, still asking about Ross. Hey, if people go ask, closed mouth don't get fed. That's what I always like to say. Shima's in the building. Shima's the boy, man. You already know what it is. Carr was already at training camp at 3 a.m. Yeah, that man was up there. He was waiting for them rookies to show up. He's trying to show them rookies how to get it done. But as far as a big need going into a training camp, not big need, but your biggest training camp battle, some results are in. David V says running backs. David V says running backs. If you guys agree with David V, go ahead and make sure you comment running backs down below. If you guys agree with Ryu that the defensive backs are the biggest competition in training camp right now, go ahead and comment DBs, okay? Go ahead and comment that down. Unknown Raider with a little bit of twist in it, and he says back up quarterback. That's a big competition. We just talked about that shortly. If something were to happen to Carr and he was out for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, just something strange. Say he was concussed or something, right? Say maybe he gets a sprained ankle. He's got to sit out for a week or something, right? This guy is going to have to come in, and he's going to have to carry this football team for at least a game or two. So we would definitely want to see what that backup quarterback looks like. Joel says offensive line. Offensive line is definitely a concern that we have. Those are some big concerns that we have, most definitely. EG says Raiders and Patriots will have joint practices on August 23rd. And this is something I'm looking forward to. Appreciate that, EG, for dropping that note in there. August 23rd is going to be a special time for us because, Josh McDaniels is going to go up against Bill Belichick. And I think the fact that we're going to be able to see this offense conduct itself with new personnel, obviously, because it's the Raiders, but going up against an old guy like Bill Belichick with that great defense, I would love to see how that one turns out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Jorge says, Mullen, number 1 CB or Rock Ya-Sin. And we've talked about this all last week. I know my boy Andy did a breakdown on Trayvon Mullen. And if you guys haven't caught it, me and Scene GT actually did breakdowns on Trayvon Mullen and Trayvon Merrick. And my number 1 is Rock Ya-Sin. I have to go with Rock Ya-Sin right now. And I feel like that's kind of the safe bet. But at the same time, one of the reasons I say that is because he's been very healthy. He played a very good season last year. And Trayvon Mullen was hurt last year. And he does have tendencies to get banged up here and there. So I kind of have to go with Rock Ya-Sin. I know some people like Anthony Averett, but I can't go with him because I like bigger cornerbacks. I like corners that are taller, that are 6 foot or bigger, or at least 190 pounds or bigger. And he's neither of those. So he's just not that kind of corner for me. But if y'all can, make sure to raid that like button, y'all, and support the homie Raid One Nation. Yes, sir, bro. I appreciate the words, Agent Raid. If y'all can, make sure to hit the like button so we can get the algorithm cracking. Raid the like button and the subscribe button. You know what it is. And so let's go ahead and hop into my top 3 position battles for this season. These are my top 3 position battles going into training camp, this 2022 training camp. And my number 3 is cornerbacks, y'all. While we was just on the subject, it's cornerbacks. And personally, this is number 3 because we don't have a number 1 corner. We were just talking about it, right? And someone just asked, we do not have a number 1 corner. And this is a concern of mine because you usually want one guy on the team that's a shutdown, lockdown cornerback. And yet we don't have that proven commodity. Yes, we go out and we trade for Rock Ya-Sin, and last year he did perform well. But even with the Colts, he wasn't considered a lockdown number 1 cornerback. I mean, let's be honest. Was he the best cornerback even on that team? It's arguable that Kenny Moore was better than Rock Ya-Sin on the Colts. So arguably he wasn't even the best corner on his team. So I definitely have a concern going into training camp. Not a concern so much, but more of a position battle of who's going to be the best out of that group. And I feel like it's going to be Rock Ya-Sin. But I definitely is definitely number 3 on my list as far as position battles going into training camp. Now, my number 2. Now, go ahead and comment down below. See if you guys can guess who my number 2 position battle is going into training camp. Go ahead and comment down below what's my number 2 position battle is. Because this right here is somewhat has been lingering for some time now. This position has been lingering for some time that we've been needing to get answers, and yet we haven't got answers to it. And I see some people commenting down below. I see 2 people coming down below. We got D tackle. It's not D tackle. It's not linebackers. It is offensive lineman. Jorge gets it right. It's offensive lineman. Hell no. Robert, you think my position battle number 2 is left tackle? Who go? I don't think anybody competing. I don't think anybody competing with Colt Miller. I ain't gonna cap on you. Richard Snyder, boom, bing, 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 right guard. So it is offensive line and it is right guard and left guard. In general, it is the offensive guards. These are my main concerns going into the season. These are my main concerns. I hear you, Robert. I see you, folks. I see you, man. These are my main concerns going into the season. And the reason I say this is because we've had so much inconsistency in this offensive line throughout the years, just throughout the years. At the beginning of this show, we talked about how Richie Incognito retired, right? He retired. But prior to him retiring, he was supposed to be the starter last year. He got hurt. Denzel Good comes in. He got hurt. We have John Simpson start. We have Alex Leatherwood move from tackle to guard. So guard is my number 2 position battle that I want to see go into the season because we draft Dylan Parham as well, and we add him to the pool of offensive guards that we've had in rotation starting for this football team. And now we have to see who's going to even start on the offensive line. So go ahead and comment down below. Let me guys know who you guys think is going to be starting at left guard and right guard. I don't know if that's opposite because the camera or whatever, but y'all get it. But let me know down in the comments who you guys think is going to start at left guard and right guard for us, because I think that is going to be one of the main concerns going into the season is the guard position. It is very crucial that we figure this out for Josh Jacobs if we expect Josh Jacobs to have a good year. If we expect Josh Jacobs to have a good year, we're going to need our offensive guards to definitely step up. Raider Ray's in the building. He says, shout out to my dude, Rated Tape. Everyone like and sub. Yep. Shout out to Raider Ray, up and coming YouTuber. Make sure y'all check him out as well for content. He definitely is coming through, sliding through with some solid content, taking it serious. And I love when content creators come out and they take it serious and they actually, you know what I mean? They take it with some pride. You know, he's posting his background. His background was dope. I actually asked him about it. So I love to see when dudes take it serious. SVT says right tackle would have been my number 1. Wow, right tackle, your number 1? Your number 1 position battle is going in number 1. I'm not mad at that because, you know, offensive line is my number 2. I'm not concerned with our tackles, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Colt Miller, for one, we know Colt Miller's a lock at left tackle. Now, with the right tackle, we drafted a guy in Alex Leatherwood at right tackle, for right tackle last year, and all we did was move him to right guard. And I think that was a mistake, in my opinion, because you don't give him the chance to develop and get that experience at right tackle. Even if he loses those reps, he's still getting that experience because he was losing reps at right guard. So at that point, I find us hindering his experience, hindering his progression and his development by moving him from right tackle to right guard. And I think that's what we did with Cleveland Furrow. We hindered his progress. We hindered his production and his development because we decided to move him from edge to D tackle, have him gain weight, lose weight. That is not how you build a successful football player. I just don't see that. I just don't see that. Sam Tonga says Simpson has good strength, but dude always double teams the wrong dude, and the person he misses gets a sack tackle for loss. Definitely agree with you, Sam. John Simpson is a huge concern because he doesn't pick up on the stunts, or he doesn't pick up on that free blitzer very well. He doesn't process very well, as Sanjeet would like to say. And you have to process well when it comes to being an offensive lineman. You have to be quick with it. And people kind of underestimate that part about being offensive lineman, thinking that you have to just be big and strong. No, you have to be very smart. You have to be very smart. You have to be able to read nearly what the quarterback is reading. And if the quarterback doesn't make every single check for you, it's not the quarterback's fault. It is on you to be able to get off of that double team. So, Sam, you're 100% correct. Now, with that being said, Sam, do you think that he is going to start at left guard again, or do you think somebody else is going to take his spot? Leatherwood at right guard. See, I'm not mad at that, but I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan. If he goes to right guard, Snyder, then he stays at right guard. That's my opinion. If he goes to right guard, then he needs to stay there. I'm tired of our guys moving. You know, you almost have to not feel bad for him. You know, you don't feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's like, bro, just play the guy where he was drafted and just play him where he goes. Like, think about it. Dylan Parham was a guard. Yet everybody wanted, for some reason, to create this narrative that he was going to come in and take Andre James' spot at center. And it was like, Did you watch any film whatsoever on Dylan Parham play center? No. Then why would you expect him to take Andre James in starting NFL center spot? It doesn't make sense when Dylan Parham never even played center, or excuse me, when we didn't even watch Dylan Parham play under center when he was playing guard all last year. And I only watched last year's film, so that's me. So if you were one of the people that watched film with Dylan Parham under center, which I didn't see, then you got some good film, brother, because I didn't see that. Shima86 says, I hope JJ is healthy. Well, he better be healthy, bro, because if he's not, then he's out of here. No more excuses. No more excuses. Left guard equals Miller, right guard. I'm not sure what that means, Carl. Go ahead and rerun. Go ahead and run that one back, man. Go ahead and run that one back. So at right guard, we got Leatherwood. Okay, Mike. And then at left guard, we got Good. I can't agree with the Leatherwood thing. I can't agree with it, man. I have to have Leatherwood at tackle. For me, Leatherwood got to be at tackle. But I'm not mad at it at all. If that were to be the case, I wouldn't be mad at that. But if you are the people that think Alex Leatherwood should be at right guard, let me know who that right tackle is going to be. If Alex Leatherwood's at right guard, who is that tackle? Who's that tackle? I'm curious. I'm very curious. Let's get back to some of these comments. Joshua McDaniels is a top 5 offensive play caller. Okay. We're talking about the O-line right now, play. Okay, left guard, John Simpson or Denzel Good, Parham. Right guard, Parham or Illuminor. Okay, I'm not mad at that. I would love to see Parham start at right guard. That would, in my mind, mean that he showed enough to be starting on this offensive line, and he should be that. He should be everything we expect. If Parham goes out there and he starts for us, he should be everything we expect, especially if he's able to beat out Good, Simpson, and Illuminor. Okay? You got to think Simpson has a whole year under his belt. A whole year of experience of starting on the offensive line under his belt. Although he's been in the league longer, I know, but he started all last year. So he has that advantage on Parham. We all know Denzel Good is a solid offensive lineman, regardless of where he put him on those 4 spots: left guard, right tackle, left tackle. So that just holds me to where Parham, if he starts, it would be very impressive to see Parham come out on top when it comes to this starting offensive line. Let's see what we got in the works. Raider Ray, he says Illuminor and Good are his starting left and right guards. They've played a lot of football. Coach Basilio likes guys with a ton of experience. Week 1, it gives you the best chances of success. Let these guys develop. I agree. I do agree with this. I would love to see Good with Parham. But the fact that you're able to put something in there with the regards of Basilio likes guys with a ton of experience. You add some fuel to your fire, to your case, and I love the fact that you're able to do that. So Illuminor and Good isn't a bad choice at all. I would love to see Parham start just because we drafted him. He's a 3rd-round draft pick. You are able to pick up Pro Bowl offensive linemen in the 3rd, 4th round. That's easy work. Think about guys like Ali Marpet. Think about guys like, Gabe Jackson was a 3rd-round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken, right? And he was part of a draft. He was a part of a good draft class, Gabe Jackson. So I would love to see Parham start for this team. It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot coming out of college to start over these other guys. Aren't they trying to put Leatherwood back at right tackle since he's leaned out? Yeah, supposedly he's supposed to be going to right tackle. And I love to hear that. I love to hear that because I feel like he should be either right tackle or just call it quits. That's my opinion. Parham at left guard. Okay, Red. I hear that. Parham at left guard. Yeah, Parham getting some love. He getting a little bit of love. I like Parham and Good at guard. Those are my guys. Parham and Good. I would choose those 2. I would definitely choose those 2. Spotlight is in the building. Spotlight. Appreciate you pulling up on us, folks. Hope you out there doing well, brother. I never understood the Parham at center talk. Yeah, me neither, man. I never understood it. I'm not sure why it really created some type of narrative. I don't know why a narrative was created for that. Because I just never seen the film. So I was like, how you guys, coming up with this if you never watched the film or anything. But anyways, I digress. He says, I think they'll trust Illuminor more at right tackle. And that's a good point. I'm glad I clicked on your comment, and because this is a very good point. Mind you, Illuminor played with these guys before. Illuminor has more experience playing with these coaches and in this system more than anybody else on this football team. It really, you think about him playing with the Patriots prior to coming over here last year, playing with the Raiders, getting a year under his belt, and then bringing back that offensive system he's used to is coming back. So Luminor definitely has an advantage over some other offensive linemen. But with that being said, I feel like Illuminor's talent is better at right tackle than it is at guard. I like him at tackle than at guard. I don't think Illuminor is strong enough or has that twitch to be at guard, because at guard, I feel like you have to have a little bit more twitch. You have to have a little bit more quickness, and you have to have a little bit more strength. And then at tackle, you have to be a little bit more agile. You have to have a lot more balance, and you have to be, a little bit more lean. And I feel like Illuminor is better at that than he is at being strong and quick. So I wouldn't be mad if he was at right tackle. But I wouldn't be mad if Illuminor was at right tackle, but I would be upset that Alex Leatherwood would be benched after we just spent the first-round pick. Because in my mind, I think like this. We could have had Christian Barmore and Trayvon Merrick on the same defense instead of having Alex Leatherwood and Trayvon Merrick. So it's just another one of those drafts. I'm not going to go down that hole. I'm not going to go down there. But like the Queen says, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people listen, but at the same time, a lot of people listen to the Queen as well. And make sure y'all rate them likes. Go rate that like button. You feel me? We should have over 150 likes, y'all. You feel me? We got over 170 people in here. Let's get to it. EG with it says, it is crazy that 37 guys will be cut by the last preseason game. It is crazy, man. And this is why we have to talk about these position battles, EG. And I'm glad you brought that up, because it really puts in perspective how many people are actually going to be cut off the football team. EG says 37 guys will be cut. 37. That's a significant number. So it's definitely something you have to look into. So let's move on to my final position battle going into the 2022 training camp. Now, if you guys can guess what my number one position battle is going into this season, go ahead and comment down below. Go ahead and comment down below, y'all. I want you guys to comment down below what you guys think my number one position battle going into this training camp is. Because I think this is going to be very important. I think this is going to actually be the most important position amongst the entire football team. And I'm waiting for somebody to comment. I know this is going to be a little curveball for you guys. There's going to be a little curveball, maybe. But boom, finally we get the comment. Sam Toga says running back, but it's not a running back. Shout out Digi Prez. He says, rate a real one. I always love to see comments like that, man. I always love to see comments. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Omar's in the building. Shout out to Omar. I just see some people I want to give a shout out to real quick. That's all it is. But back to the topic at hand. Sam Tonka says running back. FC Brian says cornerback. That's not it. The number says DBs. That's not it. Boosting with E says strong safety. That's not it. But who got it? And that's Robert Munoz. Shout out to Robert Munoz, man. Last time you threw me for a curveball, but this time you hit the nail on the head. And it is defensive tackle. Just like Omar said, just like Spotlight said, and just like JoJo said. It is defensive tackle, y'all. Defensive tackle is the most important spot going into this training camp, in my opinion. This is the most important spot. Jeff Davis says punter. No, it's not. It's not the punter, brother. I get you got jokes, but we got an all-star punter, bro. We got a Pro Bowl punter. What you talking about? We got some kickers in this thing. But it is defensive tackle. And I'm telling you guys, defensive tackle is the most important spot going into this training camp because, one, it is health. We signed guys that are decent, but at the same time, they are coming into the season with some, lingering injuries per se. Some people want to bring back Darius Philon. He's coming off of an injury. Jonathan Hankin is still tendering to an injury. Bilal Nichols, he's coming in as signing with the Raiders with some lingering injuries. Not only that, we have yet to have solidarity in the defensive tackle room. I know that we have Neil Farrell Jr., but he's a rookie, and you guys want to count on a rookie defensive tackle going into this season? Depend on a rookie defensive tackle, it's like almost going into the season depending on Jelly when we drafted Jelly. And I wouldn't want to do that. Now, I like Neil Farrell Jr. It's nothing against him, but I feel like we need Solidify that spot of defensive tackle, because that is how you're able to create the rest of the defense to really make something happen. Yes, you can have great edges. Hear me out here. You can have great edges. You can have Chandler Jones. You can have Max Crosby. But at the end of the day, if you can't push the pocket, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We've seen it happen time and time again. We need a defensive tackle that's going to push the pocket, that is going to be a solid spot. Right now, people will say Bilal Nichols is going to start and Jonathan Hankins is going to start. I feel like that's what most people are going to say. But I feel like we need some more. We're going to have to get some proven play at that defensive tackle room. I'm sorry. That is my opinion. At the end of the day, that is my opinion. We need to find some solid play from the defensive tackle room, because I'm not worried about the corners that much, because we have a lot of depth and we have a lot of proven talent there. We're not going out there with 2 rookies in Matthew Butler and Neil Farrell Jr. and then 2 vets in like a Jonathan Hankins, Bilal Nichols. No, we have young, solid players there. Averett, Mullen, Rocky Sin, Darius Phillips, Nate Hobbs. Like, we have solid players at cornerback. That's why I'm not too concerned. And they're all pretty much young. Okay, so that is my number one concern going into the season, is the defensive tackle spot. Defensive tackle spot, guys. It's the center of the defense. It's like us going out. We almost proved in this draft that the trenches are important. We go out there, we get Dylan Parham with the first pick, and then we go get 2 defensive tackles, right? So this regime seen that we needed defensive tackles, and they wanted to draft them now. So then in years to come, those guys are going to be here. Those guys are going to be the long-term answers, right? Neil Farrell Jr. will be the long-term answer when it comes to that maybe nose tackle spot. And then Matthew Butler will be that answer when it comes to that 3 tech spot. So we have 2 tackles that could develop into those different techniques, whether it's the 0 or the 3. But for right now, when we want to go on this run, I say defensive tackle, and that's my number one battle spot going into this training camp. Let me get to the comments, though, man. Christopher says, yo, what's the word on Sue? Training camp about to start for the most teams. Should see him sign this week. I'm not too worried about Sue, man, but at the same time, I'm not too worried about Sue, but at the same time, I mean, if we bring him in, we bring him in, bro. Would love to bring him in, especially on the topic of, we're talking about defensive tackle. But at the same time, I feel like he kind of plays games. I feel like Sue is one of those guys that kind of plays games. He's just trying to find who's going to cash him out the most. This is probably one of his last years playing in the league. So, he's going to do what he needs to do. EG says, I think that eventually in the season, Neil Farrell Jr. will start at nose tackle. That's very interesting, man. You think he gets to start over Jonathan Hankins? Saying if that's what Jonathan Hankins is going to be the starter. It's going to be interesting. But he goes on to say, I am not completely sold on Bilal Nichols. Wow. I actually kind of like Nichols. I feel like Nichols has a high ceiling. I really do. He says, nah, Ray, Jones going to run game. Jones? Who's Jones? Who's Jones, man? Who's Jones? No, Jones going to run game. Someone going to have to. Am I drawing a blank? I might just be drawing a blank, man. Who's Jones? Do we have a D tackle named Jones? Am I tripping? We got some tough guys at D tackle, young and old. I hear you. Oh, yeah, like our franchise. I forgot about D tackle. Yeah, most definitely, man. Omar says, bro, we looking at Pecco and Billings as starters to start camp. That's spooky. Hell no. There ain't no damn starters. If anything, we have to, it's Hankins and Nichols at anything. But I hear what you're saying about Pecco and Billings. I hear you. What we got going on? KB says, I give up, Ray. You keep looking. What you mean I keep looking over you, man? I'm trying to get to everybody's comments at the same time. You know what I mean? Give my iteration at the same time. Come on now, KB. I was just talking about you earlier. When we talk about Nate Hobbs, we talk about Zamir White. Schneider says Jones and Crosby going to stop plays. I'm telling you, man, I feel like I hear what you're saying, Schneider, when it comes to Crosby and Jones, but at the same time, man, you can't just depend on edge rushers the entire time. You have to have defensive tackles in there. We have to think about this. This is what helps the D ends. Think about, so for instance, TJ Watt. TJ Watt's able to get like 20 sacks because his defensive tackles are freaking stupendous. Think about it. His D tackles have been some of the best his entire career. They probably have one of the best defensive tackles. You have guys like or defensive lineman room, because he's more of, you could say he's an outside linebacker. But in that system, those guys are basically D tackles, like a Stephon Tuitt, like a Hayward. Come on now, like playing with those guys interior while you're on the edge rushing. I'm sure Max Crosby would get a lot of sacks too. And this is what I keep saying is, like, you can have two great edge rushers, you know what I mean? But if the D tackle room is garbage, it's kind of a waste. So for me, it's just like, man, you have to have those D tackles, man. Like, it helps. Think about some of the best pass rushing teams. They have great defensive tackles, right? The Bucks last year had Vita Vea and the Dominican Sue with Shaq and with JPP. So it's like, think about the Rams. The Rams have Aaron Donald in the middle. The 49ers, great defensive line. They have great defensive tackles, always have. So it's like, man, I'm telling you, we gotta make something shake. Got a super chat in the building. Appreciate the super chat, brother. If anybody wants to drop a super chat, it's a way to get your comment shared and showed. He says, your number one player that's on the bubble, defense and offense. This is a good question right here, man. And this is actually going to be a tough one for me. It's going to be a tough one for me. On the bubble, it's tough to say, because based on having a new regime, I feel like the tendencies are going to be different. Last year, we seen stuff like John Brown come in and then him get cut, right? We've seen stuff like that happen with the last regime. Will we see stuff like that happen with this regime, so where we seen Demarcus Robinson or a Keelan Cole come in? Will we see them kind of get cut? We don't know. We don't know. So it's kind of hard to really gauge, because we don't know the tendencies of this regime yet. But as far as how they have been, I would like to say on the bubble, as far as the defense, let's go ahead and start on the defense side of the ball. On the bubble, and y'all in the comments, make sure y'all comment too. Answer the question. Answer Shima's question down below. Who is on the bubble for you guys going into training camp? Okay, but I would have to say on defense, on the bubble, ooh. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I would have to say it's I can't even tell you, man. It's hard to say, man. I would have to say maybe not a defensive tackle. That's tough, bro. That's tough. Man, you stumped me, Shima. You stumped me. I ain't even gonna lie. On the bubble, let's go with that linebacker. Let's go with the linebacker in, I believe it's Kenny Young on our team. Is it Kenny Young? Someone probably can correct me. I would say he would have to be on the bubble, because I don't see guys like I see some comments, Clee, Abram, I see another Mullen in there. I don't see these guys being on the bubble, because one, they're in their final year. Two, we're already paying them. Three, they're young. And then four, I feel like if Clee's on the bubble, then you have to pay him money. And I don't think we want to pay him money. I think we'd be better off just keeping him. Mullen, we'd be better off keeping him. There's no doubt about that, bro. I would not want to go into the season without Mullen, knowing that we only have Anthony Averett and Darius Phillips. So I would want to keep Mullen. So it's kind of tough for me. That's a good one right there. Amik Robertson. I feel like Amik always sneaks by somehow, though. I definitely think Amik always somehow sneaks by. So that's a tough one for me. But you know what? I might go with Amik. That's a good one. I would either go with a corner like Amik, or I would go with a linebacker. Definitely. I would go with Amik or a linebacker. One name that I would love to bring up is Tyree Gillespie. And I'm not saying he's on the bubble or anything, but I have yet to hear anything about Tyree Gillespie. So that's definitely a good one. And on the offensive side of the ball, I'll probably go. Who's on the bubble on the offensive side of the ball? I'll probably go. Let's go on the offensive side of the ball. Let's go lineman. And let's go with. Oh, man, I don't know. That's a tough one, too. Yeah, that's a good one. I might go Mac Hollins. I might go Hollins. I might go Hollins on that one, on the offensive side of the ball. Most definitely. Another super chat here from Anton Wade says, Kenneth was just saying Dylan played center at the Senior Bowl. That's why scouts were saying he could take Andre James' spot. Okay, Anton Wade, appreciate that. And shout out to KB for dropping that dime for us. And that's definitely true. He was playing center at Senior Bowl. But even with that being said, he didn't look good at the Senior Bowl. Like, in my opinion, I don't think Dylan Parham looked that good at the Senior Bowl playing at center. He definitely looked better at guard, especially when you look at the one-on-one snaps. Now, the one-on-one snaps or the drills, whatever you want to call it, those are kind of tough. Those are kind of tough to assess because they have so much room. There's so much things that the defense can do in those terms. So it's definitely harder to play in those drills. But at the same time, I just didn't see Dylan Parham taking Andre James' spot at all. But I appreciate Antoine. Appreciate you dropping that down. And hopefully KB seen that because KB over here tripping. They were talking about, I'm trying to get to you. Well, man, I'm trying to read. I can't read everybody, every single comment, every single time. You feel me? But I appreciate you commenting down and dropping a super, Antoine. That does make sense. Wanted me to step up too. You feel me? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the meet. Brent says, Raider gang, baby. Yeah, most definitely. Just win, baby. Raider Nation Drew says, how many players from the Raiders make it to the Pro Bowl? And also, do you think DC gets an MVP nod this year? I think DC gets a MVP nod this year, definitely. I think he does. And how many players make it to the Pro Bowl? I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll say about 6. 6 or 7 make it to the Pro Bowl this year, man. I'll say, and DC definitely gets an MVP nod this year. Pono Z, what's good with you folks? He said, we owe too much money to Drake for him to be on the bubble. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Drake and a couple of them guys that we signed in 2019, we just owe them too much money. And I think it would just be better to keep them in the long run. Ciao Bello from beautiful Sicily. Shout out to Frank Polari for pulling up on us, man. But, hey, if y'all can, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure the algorithm is cracking. Comment down below and also hit that subscribe button if this is y'all new. This is y'all first time here and y'all new. Appreciate y'all being with us. But, yo, we're about to close out Good Morning Nation. Again, we have Good Morning Nation every single Monday around 8:45. It can be between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, but it's usually around 8:45 that we have Good Morning Nation. We talk your favorite Raiders football team every morning on Monday. So make sure you guys pull up and keep that on your books. I know some people say the notifications don't pop up. I don't know why. I don't know if you guys got to go turn the notifications on or if you got to turn it off and then turn it back on. I'm not sure why I'd be messing around like that. But, hey, YouTube do what YouTube does. Okay, you know what I mean? YouTube does what YouTube does. But I appreciate y'all being here with us, man. If y'all can, make sure to hit that like button before y'all head out. And if y'all, and I know I get this question a lot of times. People ask me, where did you get that shirt? Where did you get that hat at, man? Because that's just dope. Well, go ahead and look at the ticker at the bottom of the screen. It's right here for you guys, right here. Bing, bong, boom. Redemptionbrand.com for your gear. This is where I copped this from, or actually, this is how you get it. Okay, Redemption Brand is right there. The link is at the bottom of your screen. Appreciate everybody pulling up on us, man. Dark Atheist says, go to your settings using a computer to fix your notifications. Okay. I appreciate you saying that, Atheist, because, you know, some people keep saying to me, like, yo, it's not popping up. Your notifications don't work. And that's not me. That's YouTube, y'all. How to turn the bell off and turn it back on. Okay, Mike. So just turn it off, turn it back on if y'all can with the notifications. Queen wants to let y'all know, have a good rest of your day. I appreciate it, Queen. Thank you very much. I will. And everybody else will. Everybody will have a good day. I'm telling y'all right now, you guys will have a good day. I'm telling you guys will have a good day today. And like my man says, make a play. Rate that like button before y'all head out. And until next time, y'all, appreciate y'all being with us. Aloha, Pono, once lived in Maui. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying something cool. You're supposed to leave me out like that, man. But please do a video about who's gonna lead our defense. Diablo, that's a good one, man. But you know what? Be easy, like Schneider says, man. That's a good one to go out on. Peace. Until next time, rate the tape. All right, catch y'all later.